right now. Like I was standing here on the side and my brain was like, gosh, I gotta remember to do this for tomorrow and this for getting ready for next week. And it's incredible, all that we are asked to do. And these kids, most of all, get asked to do so much. And there are times that I say something and I'm like, you really just asked a bunch of 14, 15, 16-year-olds to do that. And I just have to say, yep, we sure did. And we go on about it because they do some really pretty incredible things. That opening piece right there is called National Emblem. That's actually the first piece I ever conducted as a drum major back in 19. And it was really cool. It was really cool. I can remember that low brass part there at the end. I can remember we had 16 tubas that came to the front of the field and just blew everybody's faces off. It was such a fun march, and it was a great march to put together. This next piece that we're going to play is by one of our dear friends, Mr. Jay Boca. Jay arranges for our marching band. He's also a very prolific composer. We've done a few pieces of his. This piece is called At Dawn They Slept. It's actually about the attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941. The title comes regarding the jazz band that was stationed on the USS Arizona. The night before, on December 6th, there was a massive jazz contest with some people from Hawaii, other jazz bands from other ships. It was this huge contest, and it all culminated around 11 o'clock at night. And the last band had played, and they made the announcement as to who the best jazz band in the Pearl Harbor area was. And it went to the USS Arizona Jazz Band. And so as a reward, the captain said, tomorrow, instead of having to get up, you get to sleep in, and we won't bother you until about 10 o'clock, which in the military, you know, that's like halfway through the day. So when the attack happened, the jazz band, all the musicians that were there, were deep inside the ship and had no chance at escape. And so this thought of At Dawn They Slept has this juxtaposition of the peacefulness versus the terribleness of war, all going on at the same time. So it's going to take you a lot of places. We hope that we present it very, very well and very respectfully. Please enjoy Jay Boca's At Dawn They Slept. don't want to tell, well, no. They have prepared really well. And there's so much that they're preparing for all all region auditions, for chair placement auditions, so much going on. And one of the things that we really talk about quite a bit is what happens outside the band room. You know, we talk about character happening out there, we talk about all the music that has to happen out there too. We have this wonderful group of people that do great things. Our motto is great people doing great things. When you think back to where you were in 2005, my brain can go there. Actually, I can still remember that pretty well. But that was a while ago. That was the first time that the Wando band ever won a state championship in South Carolina. And in that time, every time that Wando has gone back to that state championship, they've come back victorious. Now, that can sound easy, and that can sound like we didn't have to work very hard at it. But we talked really at the end of the season about how if you could only see behind the curtain what all they're doing. I imagine, especially the Symphonic band, or all of our band, being like one of those swans or a duck or a goose that's on the pond, and it looks like it's just gliding across. Yet if you can see underneath the water, you see feet just paddling for dear life. You, parents, know just as well how much they're working, but we also know how much you are working to volunteer and to bring and make and do for all of us. From getting us into these great concert uniforms from our concert committee to just being here on nights like tonight and getting your child here. It means a lot. And so in this time where we're kind of celebrating a lot of things and a lot of accomplishments, we look at the 15 times this band has been a state champion, and we also look at all the hard work that it has gotten to get there. And one of the groups that we need to thank most of all are you, the parents. And so students, would you join me in a nice round of applause for your folks for coming out and being with us? We also wrote a piece by John Mackey. It's called Hymn to a Blue Hour. And this is a more complicated piece than one would normally do on a fall concert, but it's a gorgeous one. And we hope that we can bring it to life. It's all about that time right at the sunset and how still things can be. And it sounds like, again, it's really easy, but it's not. And so we hope we make it sound easy for you. We hope you enjoy Hymn to a Blue Hour by John Mackey. last piece that we want to do before we do that, I have to say this. In a year of transitions, you never know what things will be. And one of the things that I've always counted on here at Wando is the team, our team. And when that changes, you never know what it's going to be. And then there are times where, it's not quite the same. And there are times where it's different, but great. And so I want to make sure that we give the right amount of appreciation. I think when folks look at Wando, they see, maybe I'm the face that's in front, but I'm very much a cheerleader for the people that are doing a lot of the work and really a lot of the heavy lifting. So I want to make sure that we want to thank Dr. Blair and Mrs. Radke, please. Mrs. Radke, when I first came here 10 years ago, we didn't know what it was going to be like. And I'm so thankful that we took a chance and have made some incredible things happen since then. And Dr. Blair coming on this year, I'm sure it was overwhelming at times. I can be a little overwhelming, I've been told. And, hush. I can be a little overwhelming at times. And to deal with that and all these things and to thrive. Last night, we had jazz auditions on Tuesday. The bands met last night. All 65 students involved in jazz band were here last night working on things. And here's the cool thing, I haven't told you this. I was in my office late and listening to one of the bands play. I was like, and I was talking to Dr. Blair after it was over. I said, man, that sounded really good. Those kids are doing well. I was like, yeah, they sound great. I'm really happy with what they're doing. And I said, well, yeah, that's mostly symphonic band kids, I would guess. He was like, did you think that was the top band? I said, yeah, wasn't that the older group? He was like, no, that was the second band. And as in all things at Wando, we don't do things at a lower level. We do great things, great people doing great things. And Dr. Blair is setting a new standard for what that can possibly be for us. So we're very thankful to have him here with us. And of course, Mrs. Radke as well, and Mr. Wynn, everybody who makes this place work. This final piece we want to play for you, I'm trying to let them rest their chops because they're looking at me very sadly in parts of the piece. And this one, we got to have all the cylinders running. This piece is called Eternal Father, Strong to Save. If you've ever been to any kind of naval ceremony, they have in the middle of it this really beautiful piece, Eternal Father, Strong to Save. It's a wonderful little quartet. It'll be played by our horns in the middle of the piece. But we have a lot of things that we want to do before we get there. So thank you so much for coming out tonight. We are so appreciative of everything that you give us the opportunity to do. We hope you enjoy Eternal Father, Strong to Save.